It's Wednesday, December 23rd, 2021. Last night on the 22nd on the news program, they had, they're going through this Omicron and variant of COVID with testing, tracking, and so on and so forth, which is timed, I don't know why, with this Adams administration. This is not the Adams or the face of the Adams. That is a founder president. When I learned about Adams in elementary school, which was the approved dossier, he did not look like this. This is, I don't know whose version of the Adams family. Now, what's interesting is he says he wants diversity, yet I'm looking at some of his choices and I don't see any diversity whatsoever. I'm still standing in something called New York, in the United States of America, which is North America, which has a profile on its monetary system that has a specific set of requirements all within itself. I do not know how this man got secretly elected or appointed or whatever his claim is. I don't understand how they had an election. He says now that he is going to wait to be inaugurated in a private ceremony, like January 1st or something like that. I don't know how that's possible. Even private ceremony. I don't understand how a title of mayor is allowed whatsoever. But he picked something for his transportation department, and he says he refers to the gentleman as a Latino. It is what his beseech. I mean, I'm here as a beseech. It's what I've seen and heard, the sounds of something that I don't understand how this is occurring in such large quantity. Apparently, there's something called, there's a former president, his daughter has a show on the Peacock network, not on Channel 2, but on Channel 4, with something called a Hoda. Hoda is the woman's name. And she looks like she's familial with what Joe Biden says was his vice president, Kamala, which again is another secret nomination. I have no idea how she even got nominated to be on Joe's ticket. Did Joe have any say in that? I mean, President Joe Biden, but when it was like a family affair, did Joe get to pick his vice president, or was he told he had to have this candidate? I'm just curious, as a family level conversation, and then official would be President Joe Biden. Since I don't have a way of communicating with him, I don't have his direct phone number, and I left message at the White House about my concerns for New York.
The city's incoming mayor, Eric Adams, continues to put together his new administration and create some new positions. CBS 2's Kevin Rincon has the story.
Mayor-elect Eric Adams says he wants diversity on his team. With that in mind, he announced former councilmember Adonis Rodriguez as the next transportation commissioner.
First, Latino to become the commissioner of DOT.
Fittingly, Rodriguez thanked him in Spanish.
Gracias, señor alcalde.
He says he'll continue to expand on programs.
Now, I'm in North America. We speak English. It's our dominant language. Why is Latino being transposed here and all of a sudden trying to compete with the natural language? Just curious.
programs that help underserved neighborhoods and communities.
Yes, I have my strong accent. Open your ear to get my word. But also everyone know that I have always advocated for the safety of pedestrians and cyclists.
Mayor-elect Adams also announced he'll keep Alosi Aridia as his taxi and limousine commissioner. She's served in that post since last year.
We are laying the groundwork for recovery, including comprehensive solution.
This doesn't look like a minority. Just saying. This now looks like a majority, and this now looks like an invasion. It now looks like a full takeover. Is there like a war that has been undeclared? I'm just curious. I mean, how does one even find out about that? I mean, I've been sitting in New York just trying to make it day through day, and it is really frightening on the television, especially when broadcasting journalism and anything television related and teleporting. There's timing. Everything is timing mechanics. Why is all the timing mechanics now being technologically served by subservient problems in the forefront? When did I become the minority? Because they keep claiming minority credits. Like, but we're the minority. No, you're not. In New York City, there are more of this than there is of me. That puts me in a minority position at the moment, which is really frightening. And I don't know where my tribe went with the majority of people that are a Dante Inferno type Renaissance painting and sculpted Renaissance elsewhere. I'm confused why I was left in the field so dangerously and wrong, being that I was an Empress egg needing Little America, Antarctica, Emperor egg transfer to the correct feet, for the correct hatch, for the correct chick, and then learn whatever the customs are in the place I belong and I land. Unfortunately, everything has been disrupted, and now I'm stuck in a position where everything is changing anatomically and dangerously timing-wise around me. It's almost like my health and safety of timing of my blood pipes is off. Well, I know it's off. Of the cable and fiber optic network and infrastructure of the universe around me. I know the timing is off. And I also know this is happening, and this makes things more difficult and more dangerous for the health, safety, and welfare of my human being. And it's oppressing my rights because it needs to have a voice in something, I don't know what.
Solutions to address medallion-related debt and shifting the agency to a client service model that better serves its licensees so that they can focus on earning a living as professional drivers.
Heading into the new year, the administration will have 2 new positions. One of them, Chief Technology Officer, a position that will be taken over by Matt Frazier. He says key to his success, democratizing access to city services.
When you interact with the city from a technology perspective,
Looks like, again, even though he says diversity, it looks like his plan for diversity is putting majority, what is not a United States of America founder president's union person. It looks like New York City is filling itself up with some other jurisdiction. I don't know from where. I don't know from what purpose. And I don't know how they're succeeding. But it's really frightening. They haven't asked. They haven't made us aware. It's just they have bought some airspace on some TV. And now they think like they're really going to function in this capacity without some form of intervention.
Perspective or from a business perspective, there's no reason why you can't come to one place to get access to all the things that you're entitled to.
He talked about tackling the digital divide and making sure the city services are secured. The other new role and efficiencies are a position that'll be held by Melanie LaRocca. She'll focus on cutting waste at city agencies.
Of what are we doing here and how is this serving New Yorkers?
More announcements from the mayor-elect are expected, including health and sanitation commissioners. In Midtown, Kevin Rincon, CBS 2 News.
Still ahead tonight at 6, the holidays. A time to help those in need, but we have a warning tonight about bogus donation bins.
And it's not going to support any charity. It's literally going into their pockets.
How to make sure your donation gets to those who need it most. Also, we are tracking rain moving in. Vanessa's here for Lonnie. Vanessa.
Yeah, it gets you.
This is who New York's been portraying as the health commissioner. No idea how he got put in that position.
At least for the next few weeks.
Red.
At least this is Honorable Kathy Hochul. She was put in after Cuomo was removed for some kind of investigation. No idea what that's all about. So she's new on the scene. I don't know in timing effect with everybody else having all of these plans. If she is to actually be put in and protect us and be a disruptor, why is there so much infrastructure like it's a, not balderdash, but it is like a power grab all of a sudden between this election and all of these, before he's even sworn in, it's all of these election choices being put out there that this is what is going to happen, as if it's already a done, said deal. With whom?
Holiday joy.
This gentleman, I found out, is a man called, well, if Kathy's an honorable, I've never heard him addressed as honorable, but if Honorable Kathy Hochul being Governor Kathy Hochul, then he'd be Governor Phil Murphy, and an Honorable Phil Murphy. He's in New Jersey, is what the locals have advised.
When you're inside.
Cathedrals. And the yellow tax today with his appointments of new deputy mayors.
The incredible pride that I get to stand here in the company of trailblazing women.
These are other Adam choices.
We can tell you they will be here leading the city in the new year. And the yellow taxi getting a major upgrade, how you may be riding in luxury next time you hail a cab. Plus, Anna has the forecast.
Let me get Hoda for a moment. Okay, so my Linda's telling me that this is former President Bush's daughter. And this is a woman by the name of Hoda. They have a show together on this channel.
This is Today with Hoda Kotb and Jenna Bush-Hager from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Hey guys, it is Wednesday. It is December 22nd, 3 days till Christmas. This is my kind of present. That's Megan Trainor. Our girl Donna is in Pachena. Donna.
This is my kind of present, by the way.
And it's just interesting because she looks more familial with Kamala Harris. Vice President Kamala Harris is what the television also states. So it's very interesting, these secret choices that then are pushed out into the New York State media. I know I didn't get a voice in any of this. not along the way, not when my voice was being crushed or taken by this Ursula-like project, if we're speaking Little Mermaid. So it gets really, really confusing. But the upcoming new city administration is very forcefully making itself aware that it has no place for someone like myself based on all of his choices. So that needs to be addressed by someone in authority. I mean, I don't know who to reach out to for any of this stuff, but this looks like, not this particular, this is a piece of it, but the other new announcement during a COVID, no less. And the other thing is that they're saying that now they have federal testing. Now, I'm just curious, because do they have federal testing coming in for this COVID-19 so they can collect DNA swabs and run it through a larger federal database to see where all of the influx of contaminants are coming from in migration standpoint to hold other issues in check? I'm just curious, because that's what my first intonation was, but I don't have any confirmation on that. Today is December 23rd, 2021, star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It is Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I'm going to see if I can find that federal mention on the COVID testing.
Line to get a COVID test at this site. Take a look, stretches well beyond the Late Show marquee. It's a familiar sight these days as the Omicron variant surges, but officials say this time around there are plenty of tools to address it, and even more
Before the humans travel, I heard on the streets at Bayside they have to get tested and pass before they're allowed on a flight, which is why I think they're testing.
In Greenwich Village.
I'm fully vaccinated, but I want to get tested because I don't want to take it home. I want to make sure that everybody's safe.
The holidays present an added sense of urgency as families prepare to gather, all while the Omicron variant is fueling a surge in COVID cases across the city. Back on December 4th, reported cases hovered under 1,900 for a 7-day average. Today, it's nearly 9,300.
New Yorkers shouldn't have to wait this long to get tested. There should be a better system by now, I feel like. We're going through this whole surge. Like, there needs to be more of these, period.
Mayor de Blasio addressed the frustration, announcing an increase in the number of testing sites from 89 to 112 across the city. Add to that additional help from President Biden.
Starting this week, the federal government will set up emergency testing sites in areas that need additional testing capacity. Before Christmas, the first several of these federal testing sites will be up and running in New York City.
No word yet on where the testing sites will be located or their capacity, but the president promises more at-home testing kits will be available for free next month. In the meantime, lines continue to wrap around blocks as families are reevaluating holiday plans.
Thankfully, right now, hospitalizations are not increasing as fast as cases are. Now, a lot of that has to do because of the high vaccination rate here in the city. Also today, Mayor de Blasio pledged not to institute any shutdowns, saying the last time it was just too devastating. Reporting live in Midtown, Andrea Klein-Thomas, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Andrea. Now through the end of the year, the city is offering $100 to anyone who gets the COVID booster shot.
So now they're making it like casino and games with $100?
Come on. Medical offices in the Somos Community Care Network. Mayor de Blasio says it's a good time of year to get the shot and some extra cash in your pocket when talking about the incentive. He also addressed the possibility of adding booster shots to the vaccine mandate protocol.
We'll be in discussions certainly as well with the...
It really feels like being a hostage in a city that has been running dangerously and is only getting worse, with possibilities. Like, I mean, there's an international airport here and whatnot. I mean, that hopping a flight already infected with something and coming to a city is really scary. I don't travel. I don't have money to travel. Wouldn't know where to travel to and what's safe and whatnot. But I know that I'm a minority in that. I know a lot of people don't mind traveling, and they go multiple times a day, some people I've heard on TV, depending on their career choice. So it's a really scary standpoint sitting here, wondering and watching the demographics on the television of what's going to these COVID testing sites, and what's in the new populace that's here, and not knowing how it took hold like this, and how it's spreading like a tertiary topic or topical discussion on top of primary and secondary, and on top of a fiduciary and fiscal responsibility. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken.